I came from Belarus to United States, and I had a big dream to be a fashion designer, to have my own company. And that did started very early, um, back in Belarus when I was about 6, 7 years old, where I was making paper dolls. Then I started sewing clothes for myself, for my friends. I'm a self-taught originally. Then my mom saw my work and how inspired I am by fashion and the beauty, and the clothes and the fashion in Belarus was, first of all, poorly made. It was kind of everybody being wearing the same thing all over, and that's something I didn't like. I always want to be different and have my own personality, and through the clothes, I was showing my own style. So my mom asked her friend who was working with a Italian company to teach me some basic stuff. So that's how I learned. When I came to US, I traveled all over, and my dream of being a fashion designer kind of being diminishing because I learned that you have to have a lot of financial foundation to have your own company. So I decided that retail would work for me. Might as well try it. So I got into a great European boutique. I worked there for 4 or 5 years. I learned a lot of things about different fashion pieces. I began styling my clients, and I was very successful. Then I moved to another store, and I was merch manager, and I became a store manager at Somerset Mall. Um, After I met my husband, and I decided that I'm not gonna be on store management position because any other position requires a lot of traveling, like district manager, for example. I decided that I need to switch my direction and find something that I want to do for the rest of my life. So I decided to apply to law school. And during the summer, I started LSAT test and applied to Wayne State University. I had a high score, but unfortunately, and I was very upset about it, they sent all my documents back unopened. And the end of the story was they said they lost my documents and it's too late now to apply. I got very upset and I said, okay, well, let's go back to fashion. My husband said, why don't you find some fashion schools around here to get the degree and more knowledge? And I did look for fashion schools. I don't like anything except for Wayne State University program. Plus, living in Bloomfield, many other universities are just a little bit too far. I applied to Wayne State University, no questions asked. I submitted my diploma, and I was accepted right away. So I finished my master's degree at Wayne State University. I had a great opportunity to go to New York and work for Diana Furstenberg. I had internship in sportswear design. When I came back, I also got lucky to be in Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week and get the models dressed and get some of the pieces that I designed on a runway under the DVF name. So I got back here, and right after, I kind of started my own business. I started from home. I worked at home for a year. I worked with other factories. I was working on the floor, doing my patterns. Then we emptied one of the bedrooms in the house. It's got to be my studio where I got all my sewing machines. And that's how literally my business began. I do everything, and it takes a lot of my time. I do have to spend very little time with my family as we're growing, and it's just hard. It's hard to make all of decisions, and sometimes your decisions are not beneficial to your business, and you have to compromise, and there is a very little many little things that involved into this business that you just don't like to do. For example, I like to create and sketch and drape and sew, and I don't like to do any paperwork. I don't like to do cost sheets. I don't like to do all the phone calls to retailers. I don't like to do all the paperwork. That's like the least that I like about my business. But I do it all because it's necessary. I've been doing this since 2013 officially. But I'll tell you that um, I think I've been doing that all my life. It's not like all of a sudden I start sewing and making patterns and selling it to boutiques a few years ago. No, that's something I've been doing all my life. But as far as being registered as a business entity, 2 years ago. Previous business experience helps a lot. I would not have this business if I would not work in retail and if I would not have experience with Diana Furstenberg Company. I would not be successful. And I would not recommend anyone to start the business without having previous experience. Books help very little. Getting real hand-on experience help any business. Plus, I think finding the sponsors would help too. And playing it smart, not thinking and growing big first day, but taking a baby steps, take little by little. That would help. And they don't see me at home. They don't know who I am, like a mother. They don't know who I am, like a wife. They do know a little bit who I am as a business person. Yeah, they don't get too much deep into my life to know how and who I am really with my family. I would like for them to know that I'm not as tough as I look. I am very sensitive, caring person. Yeah, I always have a smile on my face, but I do get upset by little things. I do get mad at people. I am not perfect, but I don't ever say that to person, really. I get upset. I'm like, it's okay. I always find excuses for other people to make me upset. To relax, I like to go on a vacation, like to relax completely. And vacation has to be a minimum of a week. And it cannot be here in Michigan. It has to be somewhere outside of Michigan. The closest one, if I really need to leave now, that would be Chicago. But I do like to go more to California, Florida. I used to travel out throughout the United States, so those are the states I kind of used to live in and like to go back there. I have great memories there. Plus, glass of red wine helps as well on a daily basis. When I think of the design, I don't really think who's like the most influential. I always like to know their story. How did they become influential? And I love and respect a lot Diana Furstenberg, and I think I learned like every inch of her life, how she became world known designer. There are a few designers that I wanted to work with. It was Donna Karen and DVF. I am amazed by work of McQueen. It just the craftsmanship is just something out of this world. To become an intern, you can find MP Fashion on a website. One is internships.com, another one is internmatch.com. Um, Plus, through our website, if for some reason the intern cannot find our contact information, they can just send me email through our website to fill out the form. And but you also have to have some basic skills in order to have this internship. I cannot teach you how to cut or how to sew basic seams. So you have to have some base in order to have the internship. We do receive applications for internship on daily basis, quite a lot, but I go through all of them. There are some students that been sending me application like 4 or 5 times, and I usually give up. Like, okay, so why do you need this internship, especially when I don't see related skills? But because they're deciding whether they want to go in fashion or they want to go into marketing or PR, they want to have this internship opportunity to learn a little bit more to figure out the next step. It's like in any other company. You want the intern be here on time. You want the intern, to listen to you, to follow directions, and be creative, think a little bit. I What I like the most about young people is that they think of the next step. So I don't have to literally chew the information and put it in put it in the mouth just to swallow it. No, I want them to be creative and think of the process and figure it out. I usually say to all of my interns, you don't next step. So what do you think? Well, what do you think? How you can figure it out? Because if this is what you want to do, there are many things you're gonna have to figure it out, even if you don't know. I say, well, Google it. I can tell you, but you need to be able to research it and figure it out.